Good afternoon. Welcome to day 7 of the daily social distancing election recap summary show. I'm Lee Frazier, and this is going to be a 2 week recap, but very short. I'm gonna keep it short because I've heard that the attention span drops when I go very long with the video, so I'm gonna keep it real short and concise. All right. Ooh, that's bright. Sorry about that. Today, we're going to talk about what's going on with the election. We're going to talk quickly about what's going on with COVID, as if you don't already know. And we're going to talk about Trump and his firing shenanigans. So let's get started. So first, with the election, as far as the recount is concerned, Trump has fired off, sent multiple attorney groups out to try to debunk and alleged voter fraud, obviously for multiple states where he thinks that he lost. There was no fraud, coincidentally, for any states that he won. And he's saying that the ballots were illegitimate, but it's coincidental that the same ballots with the senators and the state representatives, those parts of the ballots were good. Just the piece where he lost on the ballot was wrong. Go figure. So, needless to say, 100% of the legal filings have failed. 100% of the legal filings have failed based on what Trump has put out there in the court systems. Multiple attorneys are coming and multiple attorneys are going. Nothing is sticking at all. So today, the most recent update dealing with the integrity of our democracy and our voting system as a whole is that Trump has fired the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, Chief Cybersecurity Officer Chris Krebs, appointed by Donald Trump himself. He was the person, the leader responsible for ensuring the integrity of the vote for 2020. As you recall, in 2016, there was Russian interference, Chinese collusion, all kinds of different allegations. This particular individual has actually served in with multiple presidencies. He was brought in to ensure the integrity of the vote. But from again, Trump only does things that benefit him. So his strategy, now Trump is no dummy, but he is a loser. Okay, his strategy was that if he wins, that he could stand by and say, "Look, the integrity of the vote is great. I have Chris Krebs here. He ensured everything was on the up and up. I won fair and square." Since he lost, he fired him. Basically, anyone who goes against Trump effectively gets fired, as if he's on some type of NBC show where he fires people. It's weird. But Chris Krebs he's the guy that basically came out to say that there has been no proof or evidence of voter fraud, and this has been the most secure election in U.S. history. He also went further to say that there's been no evidence of this software that has been deleting votes that Trump is alleging. That, hey, there's this intelligent software that has been deleting Republican votes. It's even dumb to say, but his own appointed leader, Chris Krebs, came back to say, no, there's no evidence of that. But since the man worked for Trump and he didn't say what Trump wanted to hear, Trump fired him today via Twitter. Via Twitter. He's fired multiple official campaign elected officials, not elected officials, campaign officials and government officials via Twitter. What a coward, right? This is the epitome of cowardice, cowardly moves. Who fires people via Twitter as a president of all people? Who fires people via Twitter, period? Like, what if your job fired you via Twitter? Anyway, Chris Krebs, everyone has respected him. And if you just watch the news, you'll see that. And this is a very telling story about this whole situation, how Trump is basically a grown man baby, and he is basically just, he's like a 12-year-old that just screams and pouts and goes into his room and cries, and just won't leave. He has refused to concede the election to Biden. He has refused to help in the transition process, but he has played a lot of golf. He has not talked anything about COVID and the fact that we've reached all-time highs in the last every day, basically. He has done nothing to lead the country since he's lost the election, yet he has not conceded the election. You have not seen him on TV. He's made 3 appearances, including the appearance during the election, and he's actually he's gone golfing more than he's appeared on TV, and he has yet to take one question. And the reason why is because he cannot support anything that he's doing right now. Is a complete clusterfuck. This is very dishonorable from a presidency standpoint, and everyone knows it, even the Republican Party. And you might ask, why is there any Republicans that supporting him right now? It's because they need his voters. There is a Senate runoff re-election, I just call this a runoff in Georgia in January, and they need those 2 Senate seats to maintain control over the Senate. If they don't get that, then it's going to be a full Democratic party from the president to the Senate. And if it wasn't for that, every Republican would be gone right now, including Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader. But they have to hold on to this grown man baby for a little while. Many people have abandoned ship, and they are actually, it's kind of like a badge of honor to get fired by the president. At this point, he's firing everyone and replacing them with people that's going to be in office for like 2 months. It's stupid. Either way, it's kind of starting to look like a badge of honor to get fired, because if you get fired from Trump by Trump, that means that you spoke out for what was right. That's what the consistent pattern is for people that are fired by Trump. They haven't done anything wrong. Chris Krebs didn't do anything wrong by saying that this has been the most secure election in U.S. history. You get fired? Come on. Trump supporters, you ought to be ashamed of yourself to support such a guy with such character. And I said this many messages ago, and actually my last update, that character should precede policy, right? So that's what we're talking about. His character is amongst the worst we've ever seen, and multiple leaders have indicated this at every state, at every level. I don't care if it don't matter who you hear, right? It's only a few Republicans that's holding on, and they're having a hard time even doing that. So beyond that, I mean, that's just one of the biggest things that's going on right now, is that Trump is basically becoming more and more of an embarrassment to the American public, and more people are starting to realize that. And for any Trump supporter that has any common sense, I applaud you for realizing that as well. And for the others who have not realized that, sorry to be you. Regarding COVID, just so you know, we've reached, we're trending about 140,000 new cases a day. 140,000 cases a day. And we have 250,000 people that have died. 250,000 people dead from COVID-19 this year. To put it in perspective, 2,900 people died. 2,900 people died in 9/11 during the World Trade Center plane crash. Less than 3,000 people died during the H1N1 pandemic. 12,000 people died. Now we have 250,000 people dead. The surges are becoming exponential at this point. It took a very long time to get to 100,000 cases per day, and even 100,000 people dead. We got to 250,000 in like a fraction of the time. It took something like 6 months to get to 100,000, and it took like 3 months or less than that to get to 250,000. So people, I'm gonna leave it at that. Just be sure you stay safe out there. Wash your hands, social distance, wear a mask. People, that's all you really have to do. and you're going to really diminish the chances. When it comes to the vaccine, we do have two companies, Moderna and Pfizer, that have entered the last stages of approval. They're going to submit for FDA approval here soon. It's still going to take a while for 300 million people to get vaccinated. That is a very complex and logistical nightmare, to say the least. It's going to take half a year at least to even get that even going. And right now, Trump is not aiding in the transition of that at all. He's like, fuck all of y'all. I don't even care about y'all anymore. I don't care about COVID. I don't care about y'all. I'm a grown man, baby, and I'm going to sit here and cry. That's basically his attitude, people, about the COVID, and it's about everything else that regards the American public. So, hoping that you understand this man is not the man that you want to have as a leader. And it's frankly the reason why he lost, and lost by a landslide. He lost by the same amount of votes that he won by 4 years ago. 306 electoral votes versus 232. That's quite the landslide. Like Trump said, it didn't even happen. All right, he's a little delusional. But anyway, right now, we really could use some support when it comes to working out the logistics of trying to get this vaccine going. And Trump is just not really helping at all. Thank goodness Biden and his strong team are still pushing it forward without President's help, and we should be fine in the end. But this will take us another 6 months to a year to kind of get under control. So just hold on, continue to stay safe, wash your hands, social distance. Until next time, this has been the Daily Social Distancing Political Update Show. You guys stay tuned for next time. Have a good day.